For nearly 2 decades, one woman lived where no one was meant to live alone. No tools, no tribe, no certainty that another human would ever appear. In 1835, she was left behind on San Nicolas Island, a narrow strip of land lost in the Pacific Ocean. When the ship carrying her people vanished beyond the horizon, she became invisible to the world. What followed was not a story of rescue or escape. It was a story of endurance. Quiet, relentless, and almost unimaginable. History would later give her a name, Juana Maria. But that was not the name she was born with. Her true name, spoken in a language that no longer exists, disappeared along with her people. She was the last of the Nicoleno. San Nicolas Island lies more than 60 miles off the coast of Southern California. It is shaped by wind, battered by storms, and wrapped in cold ocean fog. Fresh water is scarce. Trees grow low or not at all. Shelter is hard-earned. Survival there demands knowledge, patience, and precision. Yet long before outsiders arrived, the Nicoleno people thrived. They understood the tides, they read the winds, they harvested food from the kelp forests and the sea. That balance collapsed in the early 1800s. Russian fur traders, driven by profit, arrived with Aleut hunters. Violence followed. Disease spread. Within a few decades, a population that had survived for thousands of years was nearly erased. In 1835, missionaries ordered the remaining Nicoleno to be taken to the mainland. The evacuation was rushed and chaotic. A storm approached. People scrambled aboard a single ship. When it left, one woman remained behind. Why? No one knows for certain. She may have been overlooked. She may have jumped back to search for a child. She may have hesitated one moment too long. What matters is this. When the ship disappeared, she stood alone. Some accounts suggest she briefly had a young son with her, who later drowned while attempting to cross rough waters. If true, her final human connection ended there. After that, the silence was absolute. 18 years passed. She survived by skill, not luck. Using knowledge learned in childhood, she built shelters from driftwood, grass, and earth. One was supported by the massive ribs of a beached whale. Others were lighter, movable, designed for shifting seasons and relentless wind. She made tools from stone and bone. She stitched clothing from bird feathers and seal skins. She hunted, gathered, dried food, and rationed water with discipline shaped by experience. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was easy. Archaeological evidence later confirmed this was not desperate living. It was intelligent adaptation. Every object she made showed care, planning, and refinement. But survival is not only physical. Total isolation destroys many minds. With no shared language, no conversation, no reflection from another human being, identity itself begins to erode. To resist that, she sang. She spoke aloud. She repeated the songs of her people so they would not vanish completely. She remembered. Years turned into decades. On the mainland, the relocated Nicoleno died from disease. Without knowing it, she became the final living memory of an entire culture. Its language, stories, and worldview contained in one silent human being. In 1853, Captain George Nidever heard persistent rumors. Signs of life on San Nicolas Island. He organized an expedition. At first, they found only evidence, shelters, tools, food remains. Then, on the final night, she appeared. She had been watching them. When she approached, she carried roasted wild onions. An offering. A gesture older than words. No one spoke her language. She spoke none of theirs. Still, understanding passed between them. She sang a song. One witness later recalled it as peaceful, ready. After 18 years alone, she chose to leave. She was taken to Santa Barbara, where the world suddenly became overwhelming. Animals she had never seen. Objects without meaning. Crowds. Noise. She showed curiosity, not fear. Calm, not bitterness. But her body could not adapt. Her immune system, shaped by isolation and a limited diet, was overwhelmed by new foods and unfamiliar diseases. Within weeks, she fell gravely ill. She died just 7 weeks after her rescue. She had survived storms, hunger, isolation, and time itself, only to perish among people. Before her death, she was baptized and given a Spanish name, the only name history recorded. She was buried in an unmarked grave at the Santa Barbara Mission Cemetery. No one could understand her language well enough to record her final words. For decades, her grave remained anonymous. Many artifacts from her life were later lost, destroyed in the 1906 San Francisco earthquake and fire. A feathered dress she made vanished after being sent overseas for study. What remains is her story. Not a tale of victory, not a comforting ending, but a reminder. She did not choose isolation. It was imposed on her. And yet, she refused to disappear. Every day, without witnesses, she chose to live. That quiet refusal, repeated for 18 years, is one of the strongest acts of human resilience ever recorded. If stories like this challenge you, move you, or change the way you see the world, support the channel. Like the video, subscribe, and join us for more true stories of survival, memory, and the limits of the human spirit.